Hi, my name is Heidi Davies. For my Futures project, I'm going to talk about education in Pakistan. We learn not only from the course materials, but from reading Malala this semester that the education system in Pakistan is whacked and leaves many families wanting, especially families of young girls who wish to be given the same opportunities as boys. But sometimes even boys aren't given the opportunities they should to be educated. I'd like to start with a few statistics. In the graph on the left, taken from the BBC article written on education in Pakistan, there is a major drop-off in education for girls and boys after primary school. Boys' enrollment dropped 63% from 11 to 4 million, while girls dropped 66% from 9 to 3 million. Once children reach their teens, they are often expected to support their families in other ways. 3% of girls marry as young as 13, and 20% by the age of 16. Boys are often expected to go to work in factories or in agriculture to help support their families. On the right side of the screen, you'll see what percentage of girls are enrolled in school by province. The dark color shows the statistic from 2013 to 14, and the lighter color shows the enrollment at the time of the publication of this article in 2016-17. You'll notice that in both Punjab and the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces, girls' enrollment in schools has gone up over those 3 years. Yet, in the Sindh and Balochistan provinces, enrollment is down. Now, to share a few more statistics, these from ABC News in 2013. 60% of women and 31% of men cannot read or write, making them illiterate. 71% of women and 40% of men did not complete primary school. 35% of girls and 21% of boys who are primary school age are not enrolled in school. Yes, these statistics are worse for women, but even if girls had the same numbers as boys, we should and would be outraged though. I'm not trying to de-emphasize the point that girls have it worse. It's obvious they do. I'm just trying to point out that educating girls is not the only problem facing Pakistan when it comes to their youth. An article on the Human Rights Watch website lists a few barriers to education in Pakistan. First, the country's government has not prioritized education. The amount of money they allocate for education, 2.6% according to the VOA article, does not meet the minimum recommended by UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. The government is disinterested and disengaged. As a result, there are just not enough schools for the children. Second, even with public schools, there is a high cost of education. Parents have to buy books, papers, uniforms, shoes, and even their children's very own textbooks. Third, there is a poor quality of education, often due to corruption. Nepotism and bribery fill teaching positions with people that have no knowledge of teaching and don't care to try. Excuse me. Lastly, while the country's constitution states that all children between the ages of 5 and 16 years receive a free and compulsory education, there is no enforcement of that policy. A campaign formed in 2010 called Right to Education advocates that government comply with this section of the Constitution. Excuse me. Not only is there a shortage of schools, but when a child is enrolled and stops coming, they don't get threatening letters from the district office because of truancy like here in the U.S. Sometimes the teacher may call on them to see how they are and encourage them back, but the government doesn't care. So, is there any hope? Some parents are finding ways around the lack of quality public schooling. Some are enrolling their children in alternative education. They are resorting to private schools, which unfortunately can be costly. Others are enrolling their children in madrasas, or schools that focus on teaching the Quran. Others set up informal madrasas in their homes or the homes of friends so their children can learn and study together. Korea has actually become a great supporter of Pakistan education, funding educational reform through UNESCO. An article on the website, The Borgen Project, shares that Korea has helped fund $3.4 million to girls' education in Pakistan. An article in Urdu Today focuses on the contributions of the National Commission for Human Development, or NCHD, to education. They have built over 150,000 literacy centers across Pakistan and have enrolled 3.84 million adult students, mostly women, in their centers. They are focusing on improving the quality of teachers so education can be more effective. More importantly, Their goal is to have a 90% literacy rate by 2025. This will be challenging. According to the Express Tribune, Pakistan's literacy rate fell by 2% from fiscal years 2013 to 14 and 15 to 16. So their work is cut out for them. Young Malala Yousafzai returned to Pakistan in March 2018, the first time after leaving the country after being shot for standing up for girls' education. She brought with her $6 million from the Malala Fund and her Nobel Prize winnings to invest in girls' education in Pakistan. Her fund continues to make money for her home country. Some provinces are doing what they can to improve education. For example, the Punjab province funded a female school stipend program, which gives about $40 a year to families with girls in school grades 6 through 10 who live in areas with the lowest literacy rates. Other provinces are working towards improving education for those that live in their borders. While fixing education in Pakistan can be difficult, especially education for girls, there is a growing awareness of a need for change, and gratefully there are those who are willing to stand up and fight for this change that needs to happen.